What's going on, everybody? This is Official Keith, and this is the very first Official Keith podcast. I am your host, Official Keith, and the podcast is named after the namesake of my YouTube channel, Official Keith in Texas. So if you haven't already, feel free to go over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and whenever I drop another video, you'll be notified. Now, since this is the first podcast that I'm actually recording, we got the main man, the A-lister, the numero uno, the number one. This is my homie, Adrian. We met years ago at our former job, which was Electronic Arts, which we're going to touch on that a little bit because I'm still a little bit salty. But he is the man. He's not only the athletic man, but he is the golden voice behind a lot of athletic activities that you have all across the state, bleeding into Louisiana and all of that. So without further ado, give it up for the main man, Adrian. What is going on, man?
Man, that's love right there, boy. That's love. I got to live up to that now. You know, you've actually set an expectation for me, and I have to continue to live up to that. So first off, man, congratulations on the official podcast start of it. And I appreciate you choosing me to be on the very first episode. So thank you, man. That means a lot, bro. Honestly, when you sent the invite, I was like, of course, let's do it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
As long as the schedule works, I'm down. I was actually trying to prepare if I needed to leave, to travel up there because I thought it was going to be more of an in-person one. I was like, hey, let me see what my schedule looks like so I can get on the road. So, but yeah, man, thank you. Now these folks will be looking for me, man. Hold on.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for you.
You're about to blow up. So people will be looking for me. So I got to get on my, I got to get on my wheels here and start rolling.
Oh yeah. Now I'm going to keep it 100 with everybody that's listening. Y'all, we went into this already, but my sleeper self forgot to hit the record button. I forgot to hit the record button.
Man, I told you there's lessons in everything, man. Whether your success, your wins and your losses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's lessons you learn and now hey, let me checklist it, make sure I'm rolling. Cause just imagine if we would have went through the whole show.
Man, that would have been, oh my gosh. I'm like, hey, man, I'm calling you tomorrow.
It's all good, man. Hey, you learn, baby. That's it. It's a learning process.
So just to catch everybody up on what we talked about before the record button was hit, we was talking about my nephew, Metric, and his son, Merrick, and how Merrick he goes to UCLA, plays volleyball. So we were touching on that a little bit and just speaking on how he's just progressed from a young little whippersnapper to where he is right now. And Adrian was speaking on that as well.
Yes, I mean, it's just amazing to be able to see where this young man has gone, come from. Because again, I knew him as a small child.
Right.
Just to give some insight, back in the day, his dad played arena football, and it so happened to be my best friend played. And that's actually how I met him. And I was in training camp with the Austin Turf Cats back in the day.
Right.
And before I got sick, so I couldn't complete the season because I got really sick. But we met, through my best friend, and watching, his kids. They lived down the street from my buddy, so I had seen Merrick in so long, but being able to watch him on social media from a distance, and being close friends with both his parents, just to see where he's come from to where he is now.
Yeah,
it just only allows me to man, this kid is going to go places like, we spoke of, and I'm just looking forward to it. I get the opportunity to be know his family, this kid comes from good stock.
Oh yeah.
He comes from a really good family, and they're behind him. Mm-hmm. That's always a plus. You know what I'm saying? When you have a child, especially someone who's succeeding like him.
Right.
And at the level he's at, to have his family there rocking with him, you know what I'm saying? It's huge, man. And you can only cheer that on. I know it exists. There's hate in people's hearts sometimes, but when you see this, it's you got to get on board and you got to cheer this on, because you can only just celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's that hometown product right there. Hometown. Now let's take the wheels of time and turn them back a little bit to the good old days of EA.
Oh,
The
yeah.
stomping grounds of EA. It's in the
Oh my
game.
goodness. So let's see, are we going back, 12 years?
About 12 years. I mean, there's a lot of
Holy
people that have
cow.
come and gone through EA, and a lot
Yeah,
of,
there has.
I don't even want to say friendships. I want to say a lot of kinships have been forged through EA.
Yeah.
But there's also been some down times at EA too. And that's something that I kind of want to touch on because
Okay, yeah, let's go
here
there.
recently, I'm not going to call out names or nothing, but here recently, a
Sure.
really high group of individuals were, they were released.
Released, yeah, from the services. They were transitioned to customer from employee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, with the numbers that we saw as internals, it makes you wonder. Well, let me back that up. We know business, and at the end of the day, the business is going to put the business first. So
Right.
we totally get that. But at some point, where do you just say to yourself, hey, these people are hardworking. These people are trying to provide for them families and then themselves in that particular order. And we cut them off. Like there's still a lot of people out there that's kind of hurt from that. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
what are
They're
your
still
thoughts on
gathering
that?
themselves.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've learned a lot when it comes to working in, that type of industry or really just in the corporate world. And you try not to be bitter about these things, but like you said, at the end of the day, it is business. But you also have to kind of know your worth.
Exactly.
So it makes you kind of speak on the loyalty thing. Like I'm loyal to showing up and I'm loyal to the paycheck. I'm loyal to the benefits. I'm loyal to all these things that this relationship that you have with this company and the expectations are there. They expect me to show up on time, to put in the work, to follow their guidelines and things like that. I expect them to compensate me, to be there for me for the help that I need in my benefits and to give me that security for jobs.
Right.
And if I'm matching them with all of the metrics, for what they want or they expect from me, you expect them to be there for you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to it gets swept like the way they did, you know what I'm saying? It's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, exactly.
But you were seeing it right now so much on social media. Take that PTO, take those, take those trips.
Yes.
That job is going to replace you. And just like now, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of what happened or where they're at now, but from understanding that we hear, we know,
right.
We're told, we know what the deal is. It's for cheaper, labor. It's going to be outsourced, and so on a business sense of it, I get it. But at the same time, don't expect me to rock with you and you couldn't rock with me,
exactly.
Down the road. Like I just, so I'm like, hey, you know what? A lot of these places don't care about you. You're just a number.
Yeah.
You're just a paycheck. Stereotypically when you think of like a foster child, these people get paid to take care of this child and things like that. So, in a sense, I would think like kind of similar situation. Well, no, it's not a similar situation, but again, there's a tit for tat type of situation there. And I mean, you just got to remember that, going forward to those folks who experience that, just know, make sure you take care of yourself.
Yeah, you got to take care of
yourself. Make sure you
keep
straight.
Yep, you got to take care of yourself. I know I went through that same thing with them, and for a week, I literally woke up and all I could say is why? Like, why? I did what I was told, and when there were times where I was slumping a little bit, I got it into high gear and I picked it back up. I did what I was told, and for that week, I don't think I ate. Like, I like to eat. Like, I like to eat.
Yeah.
But for those first couple of days, I didn't even really eat. And they was like, okay, well, package this and package that. But it felt like a slap in the face. You know what I'm saying? So I was telling Tim, I was talking to Tim not too long ago,
Mhm.
and I was telling him I love playing Battlefield. Like that's my jam. I'm a Battlefield over Call of Duty guy any day of the week. But
That's Battlefield.
I told him, I said, I'm standing in solidarity with the people that just got affected by this mask wipe. I won't be playing Battlefield for a long time until I don't know. And again, we understand that it's business, but when does it stop being its business? When do we start taking care of our own people? It was always preached, hey, we like to upgrade you from within and promote from within. And then when you get just right there, then we're not doing that. We're scrapping the whole thing. Like it's ridiculous.
I think those days are over, and depending on the industry that you're in. I don't think those days will return in that industry. I can't speak to every industry, because there are some that are out there that do care about their employees. We see it time and time on social media, news stories. Companies giving $70,000 raises to their employees. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a company that sees their employees staying long term. Or like a lady who's worked at a dentist's office for 20 years, a doctor's office, and she's getting a house. They gave her $20,000 for the 20 years of service.
Right.
Like they appreciate that loyalty. Where you got guys who have been at this corporate world for about that time, close to that time, they're coming up on those 20 years. They were coming up on it. That means they were getting up in and out, all through all of this, even through the pandemic in the last 4 years.
Right.
They still stood by that company. And, even the goods and the bads, because we were there during some bad times.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And they stuck there. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, them 18 years don't mean anything.
Yeah.
And we know some of those individuals directly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I could definitely, I can understand how they would feel slighted, probably even get to the point of getting rid of everything, any titles that they have of that.
Right.
Because again, it makes you question loyalty and how you stand with people. And then, of course, it could trigger onto so many things. I mean, it could literally go down a rabbit hole with so many other things that it could affect them.
Right.
You can only hope that these folks are, they're really strong in their emotional intelligence. Like it's really high. So they can't bounce back from that. And, but yeah, I can definitely understand not wanting to, not wanting to play those games, those titles anymore. It's just like, you know what? Man. Nah, because that's foul. Now, now you're left with seeing what's next. Of course, you got to go get a job. You got to get yourself straight. But at the same time, when you've put in that amount of time, through all the good, through all the bad, to be just swept under the rug, that's rough, man. That's so rough.
That's rough. And I think I would have taken it a lot. Well, I'd probably still be a little in my feelings a little bit, but I think it would have been less had they just came up to me and said, hey, y'all, we're outsourcing because it's cheaper. I didn't need any of the excuses that was given to us. Like it just felt like it was just the fluff. And I'm a grown man. I don't have time for no fluff. I don't have time for that.
Let's be straight up.
Just be straight up.
Yeah.
Just be straight up.
And I mean, I've experienced that with another company. I wasn't there long enough to benefit from that, but I was there for 3 months, I think, at that company. In fact, they left EA to go to. So I did 3 years with EA. Yeah, I left because the compensation was way better.
Right.
It was harder work, but it was way better. And 3 months in,
wow,
we had that conversation. It's like, hey, we sold the company. Everything's okay. And then all of a sudden, no, it's not.
Jeez.
You just kind of left like, I don't know what's next. And then it's like, well, hey, if you stick around, we'll compensate you, the transitioning out. And you're just kind of like, what? You want me to hang out so you can prepare the others? Like literally, prepare the others. You're sourcing my job out to someone else, and you want me to hang around, And of course, I didn't make it long after that. It was like they were also finding any reason to not have to pay out, anything.
Right.
So, it was like you walking on eggshells. So I didn't benefit from it. I was out the door, which was it was the greatest thing to happen for me.
Mm.
But other friends, some of them were like, I couldn't do it, man. It was harder and harder knowing that like, your end is coming,
Mm-hmm.
and and it's just, it's a hard thing, man.
Man. Yeah, it's messed
But
up.
like, these sudden ones is crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely messed up. Now, with you being in the Austin area, I'm sure you see your fair share of electric vehicles everywhere. Of course, with Tesla being number one, right? With the amount of quality control issues that they still have, do you think some of the Tesla fans are jumping ship to go to the other brands such as Mercedes or Rivian or BMW or just any of the other brands? Or do you think they're going to stay loyal to Tesla and to wait for those quality control issues to get fixed, considering how long it takes for them to fix them,
Yeah. I mean, it's two different things there. It's the have and the have nots when it comes to Tesla.
Okay.
Because a lot of, I could tell you right now, being in the Austin area, I have a handful of people that I know were affected by that layoff. And those, for most things I could say, and I'm not trying to degrade or belittle or anything like that. That's not, what I'm doing is,
Right.
But there's the have and the have nots.
Right.
A lot of the people who were affected by that were the have nots. The haves, who have the stock, who have the financial backing or, the support and things like that, where they're not truly affected, they're going to be okay. Who are buying their products, who have the Cybertruck, who have,
Right.
the Model X or whatever, things like that. Right. They've already, they're secure, they're straight. I don't see them jumping ship unless it's a beneficial thing. You see the talks of like, dump that stock.
Right.
Yeah. If it's a financial gain for you, but I don't think it's a more, what's the term I'm looking for? It's like, it's not like a relationship thing. It's not, I'm offended by what you did. So guess what? I'm out. I think it's like, it still saves me money. I'm going to keep rolling with it, or I'm going to sell the stock because it's going to triple my, my revenue or whatever the case is. But I think it's just more of a have and have nots type of situation.
Okay.
But yeah, the way Austin is going, I just don't feel, maybe I don't have enough information, enough data on it. I don't see them hurting that much.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right on the money, because the moment I don't want to say anti-Tesla, those of us that don't like Tesla that much, I'll say it that way.
Gotcha.
The moment we think, oh, okay, these people about to jump ship, and then you look and you're like, whoa, I just saw 5 Teslas instead of the normal 2. Like, people are still believing in the product. Now, I will say this, up and down, no one's charging network is going to beat Tesla's. They was first at the gate. And that's one thing that I know that they did right, outside of any type of winter storm that may come to the state or anywhere else. They did that supercharger network right. I just feel like when you combine the quality control issues that they have, leadership, I'll just say that, and then the I don't even say blandness, because some people was like, oh man, that car is tight, like it's tight. It's just, for most car enthusiasts, it's a bland looking vehicle, no matter how fast it goes and no matter what, it's just a bland looking vehicle. And you would think with all these other companies coming out, like that the Cadillac Escalade IQ, I think it's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's called IQ. That thing is fully electric at 700 something plus horses, fully electric SUV. Wow. Like when it comes out next year, I think. And then you have Mercedes EQS, and then you have BMW, and you have all these other people doing. You have all these people doing all these works of art, and then here's Tesla. Tesla just, okay, well, we changed the way the lights look in the back. But then I guess that's a testament, because we don't know. Like, they could have sent out a survey to the Tesla owners and like, hey, do y'all want us to change this? Y'all want to do this, that, and the third? I bet most of those people was like, oh, no, we're good. You know what I'm saying?
Because those are a lot of the minimalist, like you also have to like think there's priorities. There's the whole state of California. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think you muted.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I don't see them like Tesla or just the electric car is in its own like realm.
Mm.
And I don't see this hurting them, even though they say, sales are down and things like that.
Right.
I saw, and I'm not going to say who they are. I saw someone who drove a Mercedes, a really, 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 really nice Mercedes.
Right.
Their job allows them to make pretty good money.
Okay.
Okay. Their excitement for getting a Tesla, a very plain Tesla, like we spoke, you just stated about it. It's very plain, very, minimal.
Right.
Was so high. But I was like, you have like an amazing Mercedes Benz. Like, you spruce for, like you splurged on this one. But all of a sudden now it's like this Tesla. I got this Tesla and it's, it's saving me money because I, I got gas. I got to worry about all these other things. And I was like, okay. So I feel like, there's going to be a lot of change that's going to benefit people. Or it's going to be really effective for them. I even considered getting an electric car at one point.
Yeah, same.
And still kind of, still kind of there thinking about it. But because my lifestyle, I don't really move around much
Right.
to places and things like that. I'm like, I'm okay. But man, that's a hard one. I would probably have to do some more digging because I kind of stayed away from what all of that had transpired when it happened. I was just like, damn, that's messed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to be able to speak more on it, honestly, I don't have enough information on it. I just don't see it changing because it serves its purpose. It serves,
it does serve its
it tickles their fancy.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So we are at the point in the podcast where I want to call this segment, and this is going to be a little, 10 minutes. Yeah. This is going to be a part of the segment where I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to nerd out. This is the Nerdcast. So for 2 straight minutes, I want you to tell us what is the nerdiest thing that you've ever done and what is the nerdiest thing that you do now?
God, oh man. What do I nerd out as? And I mean, that nerding has evolved so much. Okay, hold on. Oh, man.
He hit a brick wall, y'all.
Yes, I did. I really did. Because I'm thinking of is that nerdy? What would be considered? Okay, hold on. I don't think that's nerdy. I don't.
And remember, the nerdy definition is subjective always. So,
okay, let's just for this, let's nerdy. I'm just gonna look at the or like nerd. Okay, so it's a person devoted to intellectual and academic or technical pursuits or interest. Okay. So, I mean, I think I would probably have to say the nerdiest thing that I've done was I enrolled in school for cybersecurity and network systems administration. To me, that was the nerdiest thing because of just the whole going to school for IT.
Yeah. Yeah.
My classmates, my professors were all nerds. Their social abilities was very limited because of the term nerd. I think that would probably have to be the nerdiest thing I did was having study groups with classmates who when we want to hang out after class or get together and do something like that. They wanted to play video games or actually it was one of the guys, they would play Magic.
Magic, okay.
Before
Magic
class, they gathered. They would play Magic before, and I remember, I don't know anything about Magic, but I stood there and I was watching, and I was trying to understand it.
It is complex for sure.
Yeah, it was above. It was above me, man. Now, what was the second part? Was it 2-part?
It was 2-part, but guess what? I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot.
Gotta get those talking points down.
I need to start writing those down.
the nerdiest thing that I did was probably that. Yeah, I would have to say.
Okay, That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, this is going to conclude this podcast. Everybody, I want y'all to give it up again for the one and only Mr. Adrian. Give it up for him, y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I guess we could talk about more why I'm the legend next time or something.
Yeah,
the next time you have me on, man, they're going to be like, who is this guy?
Yeah, it's
but
Adrian
you know what?
Legend.
If you want to know, hey, follow me on social media. I'm going to do a little plug real quick, okay?
Go ahead. You got it, bro.
You can find me on Instagram. It's this guy AZ. Now again, the ITS is included because a lot of times it throws people off, but I was like, it's this guy AZ. You can also follow me on TikTok at AZ Gets Fit too. And if you got any questions or just intrigued to follow it, I welcome you. Please come on. I'm still working on some other platforms for some things that I've gotten involved in and things like that, photography and such. Hopefully that's going to become a conversation.
Yeah, we're going to
definitely want to come back for that.
All right, cool. Y'all, again, this has been Official Keith in Texas, Official Keith IT. And do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for listening. And now you're official. Y'all have a good night, everybody.